Welcome to Salisbury University on the Air, a program highlighting the activities and the people of the campus. My name is Susan Purnell. With the recent dedication of SU's new Brown and Church Carillon, the university joins a very elite group. According to the Guild of Carillonneurs in North America, there are only 184 traditional carillons currently on the continent. Of those, only about 60 are located at colleges and universities. SU's Carillon is the only traditional carillon on the university campus in Maryland, and one of only 3 in the entire state. While these numbers are impressive, they are only part of the story. Here to tell us more about what makes this instrument so special are Eric Berkheimer, SU Associate Vice President of Facilities and Capital Management, and Dr. William Folger, co-chair of SU's Music, Theater, and Dance Department. First is Eric. So welcome, Eric.
Hi.
Great to have you.
Glad to be here.
Yes, this is an exciting time. I mean, the Carillon is probably one of the most impressive additions that we've had to SU in a very long time. Tell us a little bit about how the idea to even have one came about.
Sure. Well, early in the design, the red square facade called for a tower. We had stairs, so as part of the development of that, we felt like one of those stairs should kind of rise higher and provide some type of focal point to the building from red square. The architect Sasaki had done a Carillon at a library project they did at Missouri State University. So they brought that idea up and we sort of kicked it around a little bit, discussed it with the executive staff, and everyone kind of latched on and obviously liked the idea of making it really more than just a tower, obviously having it serve a function and putting bells in it. So at that point, we kind of got their blessing and began running with the design.
And at that point, did we know how we were going to pay for it?
No, it was still kind of a concept, and we hoped
Right.
that
somebody
would
step
come
up.
forward and
fortunately,
figure it out.
they did.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about the benefactors.
So Bill Church, who's a member of our SU Foundation Board and lover of unique musical instruments, was approached and obviously latched onto the idea and loved it. And so through that connection, he supported the project and the instrument. So we were able to add that into the contract with the contractor and begin the design process.
That's so wonderful. So everyone needs to know no state money was used. This was
That's
a
correct.
private donation by Bill Church.
Absolutely.
And can you just tell me a little bit more about Bill and Sam, his partner,
Sure.
who this is actually in memory of?
Correct.
Am I
right.
correct?
Yeah, so the Brown and Church Carillon obviously is named for both of them. So Bill Church was partners not only in life but also in business with Sam Brown.
What was their business?
They were an apparel kind of manufacturer, specifically high quality neckties. So through some of the money they made through that company, Bill's been able to reinvest that into unique instruments. Specifically, he's also part of a very special project at Atlantic City. Actually, the largest instrument in the world is the organ there at Boardwalk Hall, and he's part of a major contributor to the restoration of that instrument. So he certainly has a love of these large, unique instruments.
Did he go to
This fit
school here?
naturally. No, he did not. No.
But I know I'm on the board as well, so he's on the foundation board with me, and what a lovely man.
Yeah,
he
wonderful
really
person.
is. So I think I mentioned some earlier numbers about how impressive it is that we're one of, 4 in the state?
Within the state, yes.
Within the
if you
states,
include-
yeah.
yes,
But a really impressive number to me is how much the combined weight is of the 2 largest bells.
Yes.
What's that?
For the 2 largest bells, it's actually 5 tons. They're each
5
about
tons for
2.5
just
tons.
2 bells.
Yes.
And each bell, I think, is inscribed. Is it one for Mr. Brown and one for Mr. Church?
Yes, one is in memory of Sam Brown, the other is in honor of Bill Church.
So who made these bells, these 2 huge 5-ton bells?
The largest were made at Whitechapel Foundry in London, England.
Oh, in England?
Yes.
So what's the historical importance of that foundry? I think there's something.
Yeah, they
we
actually
should learn.
cast the Liberty Bell,
Okay.
amongst many other
That's
large
what I had
bells
heard.
throughout Europe as well. So yes, very special connection there.
So what do? Put them on a boat and
Yep,
bring it over?
They found them over there, so they're made, shipped. They actually then were delivered to Ohio and tuned there.
So that's just 2, and there's 48 bells altogether. How about the other 46?
The other 46 then were cast and tuned by Meeks Watson and Company in Georgetown, Ohio. near Cincinnati. They,
And wasn't the tuner here for the inauguration?
yes, he was. Yes, he plays. He was really the designer of the entire instrument.
Uh-huh.
we
And
worked
what is specifically unique about this particular tuner?
Well, he's the only one in the country. Really, we think
He's
in-
the
even
only
in
bell
North
tuner.
America, yes.
So what
Yes.
happens when he's no longer around?
Well, unfortunately, there really don't seem to be anyone to take his place, at least within the country. But most of the bells in the world that are cast and tuned are done in Europe. So a significant amount, especially in Belgium, is very popular.
So you should tell your child to become a bell
Yes,
tuner
very
because there's definitely going to be a need.
There's definitely, his. I think his career will probably end soon, but absolutely, it's very unique.
Gosh, I always say that you should tell your child to be a watchmaker. In my business, the art of watchmaking is just gone, and there are so very few of them. But it's interesting, this little niche.
Yeah.
I wonder how he ever decided to become a
Specialized.
a
Yes.
tuner of Carillons.
Yes, it was just
Pretty interesting. So when exactly were the bells installed, and how long did it take?
They were installed in July, and over a course of about 3 weeks. It took a couple weeks to actually raise the bells into the belfry, and then another week or so to actually string them and connect them to the keyboard, as Dr. Folger will explain, and be able to play it.
So you got these 48 bells, okay? You have two of them weighing 5 tons. What's the combined weight of everything?
Overall, it's nearly 14 tons of bell. in the
That is
tower.
a ton of bells.
Yes,
That
absolutely.
is amazing. That no, that's 14 tons of bells.
Yes.
Gosh. So the smaller ones. What's the very smallest one?
The smallest one is actually 16 and a quarter pounds. and only
Oh,
7
it's
inches
really little.
in diameter, very small.
7
yes.
inches. Okay.
Yes, compared to the large one. Yes.
Oh my gosh, what a difference.
But it's a huge, tremendous range of notes, obviously, that can be played.
And so we've got, what'd you say again? How many tons of?
14,
14
tons.
total tons, okay? And they're housed in this tower in the Guerrieri Library. Oh, Commons, sorry. And there's something unique about the tower, too, isn't it?
Well, the tower height itself is 147 feet from base to top, which we believe is the highest or tallest occupied structure within Wacomico County.
Oh, I
as
can't think of
well.
anything
Yeah,
higher.
Neither can we.
Yeah. Oh, so that's great.
Yes, that's also unique.
Do you have to go up to the top of that tower to play?
Yes, you do.
You do.
Yes, you have to essentially come up about 2 to 3 flights of stairs to get up there.
And so
Yeah,
my
from
next
the
guest,
first
Bill, who I understand is learning how to play it, is going to have his exercise in front of him
Yes,
every day.
yes,
if he's
he
going
will. It's a good little climb
That's
up
great.
there.
Well, how
Absolutely.
exciting to have this on campus. I know it must have been just huge project for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
5 years in the planning and execution.
5 years. Well, good job.
Well,
It
thank you.
sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be proud.
Yes, it's definitely a cherry on top of the building for sure.
Absolutely.
We're thrilled.
And the building is amazing. I was over there the other night for the meeting and then also for the Carillon concert, and it's packed.
Yes.
The kids are just swarming to it. It's
Yeah,
so
Been a resounding success.
it is so well
From day
received.
one, the students have loved the building, which is what it's there for.
Right, absolutely. Well, we're lucky to have it, that's for sure, and to have you to help plan all this.
Yeah, it's
So
been a fun
thank you,
project.
Eric, for being here.
No, thank you, Susan.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
And now, here's a look at the activities on the campus in October. My next guest is Dr. William Folger, co-chair of SU's Music, Theater, and Dance Department. Welcome back, Bill.
It's great to be here.
Always good to see you.
Thank you.
And usually when you're here, we're talking about some upcoming musical festival, chorale festival, etc. But this time we're here to talk about the new Carillon, which is so exciting.
Yes.
And the first question I have for you is, how is a Carillon different than other bell-based instruments?
Officially, to be a Carillon, it has to have 2 chromatic octaves, about 25 pitches, and then typically the bells do not swing, whereas we have change ringers down in Princess Anne, where you pull the rope and the bell swings. The Carillon has clappers, and you press the key, makes the clapper strike the bell.
Oh, so those Carillons that we see in movies that with the swinging bells, those are not Carillons, really.
Different types, right.
Different kinds, okay. University of Chicago, Joey Brink visited us early in September and put on a concert for us, the inaugural concert for this Carillon, right? It was amazing.
It was amazing.
I loved watching him. They had a film of him actually at the Carillon. What can you tell us about him?
Well, he's a 29-year-old international Carillon
A
artist.
kid.
Yeah, well, by comparison, certainly.
Right.
But he's an amazing musician. He actually went to the university, or Yale University rather, and he got there and heard there was a Carillon, fell in love with it. That's why he went to Yale. And he studied engineering, but learned the Carillon, and he plays all over the world. I went to Mechelen, Belgium, for a degree, and also won a number of awards. So, a wonderful player.
So I can't imagine there are a whole lot of these Carillonneurs.
Too many. I think there's about 184 and some change around North America.
Wow.
And we're the only one in the University of Maryland system.
And how did we decide that a dedication of the Carillon should be done in the form that we did it, in the concert form?
Right. Well, even for Joe, it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. He had never performed a dedication
Really?
concert. Yeah, and part of it is that they're very expensive instruments, and it takes a lot of preparation to produce them, and so it's a extra special occasion. If people heard the concert, it was a once-in-a-lifetime event. So
It really was. Do you think there'll be more concerts like it?
most definitely. We're working up to having eventually concerts weekly, but until we, Professor Zimmer and myself are learning the instrument, until we have that, it'll be a little less frequent, hoping to invite other artists to come in maybe on a monthly basis.
That's great. So you're learning how to play it.
Correct.
Is it really hard to learn how to play?
It's different. If you're an organist and pianist, it's a little bit easier, but the keys are a little different, so you have to get used to that technique.
So how do you play it?
They're, instead of keys like a piano organ, they're batons, like wheelbarrow handles, as some people say. And you play with this part of your fist, your fifth finger, and you keep your fist this way, and you touch the key and press down.
So you're
And
sort
then
of
release.
striking the key.
It's like a strike, although you don't actually hit it, otherwise it's very painful because you're hitting wood.
Right.
And so you actually, it's to time it, so you place it and then press. So it's a timing.
And the feet, too.
And the feet, yes, the feet are coupled with 2 octaves on the keyboard, and so you can play up here. And the heavier bells are very hard to press with your hands. So that's why the feet, which are stronger.
Oh, the feet are doing the heavier bells
Yes,
then.
that's correct.
Didn't get that. Now, a Carillon is a very public instrument. So how do you learn to play it without everybody hearing your mistakes while you're learning?
That's right. We have a practice Carillon in Fulton Hall.
Oh.
I go there first to practice. I mean, Joey practiced on it as well. And then after you get to a certain level, you feel confident, then you go up and play it for the public.
So do you think that it's a possibility that some of your students, your music students, will learn to play the Carillon as well?
Definitely. We're working up to that position maybe as early as this spring, getting a group of students and even perhaps getting community members involved, working on some kind of club. We're all working on the details on that, as well as asking some instructors nearby to help us with that.
I bet a lot of organists would like to try their hand at that, wouldn't you think? Hand and feet.
Exactly, hand and feet. Yes, I think they would be probably find it is easier to transfer from an organ to the Carillon. Yes.
Now, let's say there's nobody to play it. Will the Carillon still chime here as frequently? Like, is there something programmed into the Carillon?
Yes, it's 100% program. I can't say that word.
Programmable?
Thanks, it's programmable.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I have to get the accent right.
Sort of like a player piano kind of deal?
Similar, yes.
Yeah.
There's actually pneumatic pistons for each of the keys, and there's a laptop computer that runs the instrument. And right now, it's programmed for the Westminster chimes on the quarter hour, and then we're playing the alma mater at 12:02 and 5:02.
Any other pieces that are programmed in
It's
it?
actually unlimited in terms as long as the octave range is. There's some others that came with the program, and you can actually on a keyboard play in other music and record it into the software, and it will play that. Now, Carillonners don't like that because they like to. They don't want
Sure.
to be replaced by a machine, and machines aren't as musical as a Carillon.
Well, live music is always better than programmed music, but it's nice to have that alternative.
Yes, and we'll hopefully work that in and talk to the administration and see what they'd like, and then gradually build it into that, like the old Carillon.
You know, the old Carillon, I always thought was a Carillon, like the one that we now have. And I think that's been there, I read somewhere, since 1973.
That's correct.
What will they do with that now?
Right now, it's been decommissioned, so sadly to say.
Yeah.
But it played many, many years, and now that we have this wonderful acoustic instrument, and it is acoustic, I remind people they may not, depending on where they are near campus, they may not hear it like they did the old Carillon. It had
So there's no speaker system?
There's no speaker system. No,
At
it's
all.
totally
Oh.
acoustic. Even when it's being played by the computer, the actual piston is pushing down the key and moving the clapper to the bell.
Well, it's beautiful.
It is.
As we both experienced in the inauguration ceremony, it is something you have to hear. And I look forward to hearing it every day now.
We hope eventually. I know Joey plays his every day, climbs 500 and X stairs.
Good exercise.
It is. Yes.
That's great. Well, I look forward to hearing you play it
Thank you.
in the near future. So let me know when you're doing that so I can be on the.
All right.
Listen.
When I build my confidence more, I'll start to advertise. Right now, I'm going up there when I can and giving it a shot.
That's just great. Well, thank you so much for being here and letting us know exactly what a carillon is and how it's played. And we look forward to hearing it a lot more.
Thank you. You
Okay.
as well.
Thanks,
Take
Bill.
care.
And now let's hear a little bit of that inaugural concert. I'd like to thank my guests, Eric Berkheimer, SU Associate Vice President of Facilities and Capital Management, and Dr. William Folger, co-chair of SU's Music, Theater, and Dance Department. I'm Susan Purnell, and this has been Salisbury University on the Air. Thank you for watching.